Hey, yo! CJ Spark back in the building. You already know what it is. Today, I am reacting to Mach-Hommy, my first ever listen of Mach-Hommy. This is probably the last artist in Griselda that I am listening to for the first time, as many viewers really enjoy watching. As most of you know, I do a top 50 rappers of all time list every March, every year, and update it. And I didn't have Mach-Hommy in this past year's list. And there were a couple people that actually had Mach-Hommy in the top 10, so I figured now I should finally listen to Mach-Hommy for the first time. So let's get into it. I'm just going to play 3 of his top 5 songs on Spotify, and the first one I'm going to listen to is the Stellar Ray Theory Skadoosh. Let's see what he's got. Also, I'm assuming Pray for Haiti. I'm assuming he speaks French. I know a lot of his titles are French. I think that's pretty cool.
Made it through the fives, it was some drought, but the way that shit coming down, it's like the rain could never run out. Fella, and I did it all under my umbrella.
Oh, he is very poetic right off the bat here. I'm really enjoying this first verse that I'm listening to. I always say I love imagery, I love poetry, and I know everyone in Griselda is very good storytellers, right? They make really good gangster rap, they make really good stories, and they know how to tell their stories. They're raw and they're real. But this right here is just very poetic all the way through. You know, he says the sun always comes out, but some days he's nowhere to be found, and that, you know, he's made it through some fires and it felt like it was rain that would never stop. Like, it felt like the bad times would never stop, but obviously the sun always ends up coming out in the end. And out of what, 8-10 bars right there I listened to, that's some profound shit, and I like that a lot. I think my instant thought of his tone of voice, it does seem a little more similar to like Conway and Benny. I think West Side Gun has the most unique and like noticeable voice out of all of Griselda. I think even Boldy James, you know, has a similar tone of voice as this, but obviously they're all very different in their own unique ways. It's just their writing styles. Especially.
My own empire, not lose. I've been fired, do more than just inspire. Since breakfast with the style, but then I'm hard when it.
Can anyone tell me why Mach-Hommy's lyrics were so hard to find? Like, they're not on Genius or really anywhere on Google. And when I do my reactions, I always love reading the lyrics. I love lyrics. Like, I really always put, you know, the lyrical penmanship first, just because that's what I love when I write my music. But I couldn't find his lyrics anywhere. I saw it was some DMCA rules of why they're not anywhere, but
Sun don't shine and sun don't shine and all this.
I feel like right now I'm hearing a little bit of melody in this song, a little bit of melody in the hook and a little bit of melody in a couple bars here. And I feel like I don't hear that as much with the other Griselda artists. So this is something I definitely didn't expect, but obviously it's always a nice touch to put some melody in the vocals of a hip hop song. I also like the hook. It's short, it's sweet, very pure raw hip hop, repeats over 4 times. Nothing like a 2-bar hook that repeats, honestly. It makes it more catchy and easier to memorize for fans.
Shit built upon the backs of pure facts and empirical data. The category.
He said never was impressed with lyrical matters. Mine's built upon the backs of pure facts. That's very interesting. I wonder if he's talking about like modern hip hop, and that he's not impressed with like how some of the new and upcoming artists and how their penmanship is. And maybe he's saying, you know, maybe they're fake or something, because he says his is built on the backs of pure facts, which is always great. You know, you want raw and real, and that's more respectable as an artist, as I was saying, you know, with the Boldy James project we listened to last week.
The Discord, go get your front row seats for the greatest show on earth. Shit.
I love that. Spend way too much time fraternizing and you're wondering why you're piss poor. Be on message boards, planting seeds of discord. Like, he's saying, like, people are not spending their time right. Man, Mach-Hommy might be One of my favorite lyricists, if not my favorite lyricist right now, from Griselda. Just after listening to this first song, I could tell how prodigious he gets and poetic with his raps, and you combine those and that makes for a really good rapper. And I can see now, just after this first song, why people wanted him in the top 50.
One day a real rain will come and wash all this scum off the streets.
Wow, I really like that song. I think the production was good, obviously. It was kind of like your typical Griselda beat. It had that real nice jazzy saxophone loop that I personally love a lot. I love jazz and hip hop. When you combine them, it just makes for a warm toned song. So production was good all around, really good song. I can see why it looks like his most streamed song on Spotify. All right, next one we're going from his newest release, Lebeau. I'm sorry, I don't know how to pronounce that right. Someone tell me in the comments, but here we go. Didn't I just say how I love brass instruments, I love woodwinds in hip hop, and right off the bat, these first 5 seconds just hits a certain mark for me when you hear those live instruments. I don't know about you, but it just definitely livens up the production that much more.
Republican, more money, steps up and close the deal before the Pellegrino stop bubbling to the swamps with the green moss.
His flow is definitely one of the more unique flows I've heard for a while. Man, I really can't see why people want him in the top 50 of all time. I mean, I don't know. How long has Mach-Hommy been releasing music? Looks like, 2016 on Spotify. 5 years. I don't know if that's enough time to give you that, top 50, a big enough catalog to give you that top 50 banner. But if you have the skills, you have the skills. And just in this little small sample size, he's got it. And it's going to make me want to listen to everything he's got. He definitely moves this production and boosts the production to a whole other level. Mach is just carrying everything.
Got it out the mud, swear to God.
You know what? I can tell, the French influence, because it sounds like something you would hear in New Orleans. Like, if you've ever been to New Orleans, it's a great city, great culture, great food, great music, and it feels like he could just perform right downtown New Orleans on a stage and people would vibe out to Mach-Hommy. I'm absolutely loving this.
And we used to make them wave names on money orders. Back to the block, they said no cutting corners.
He really doesn't cut corners. Like, you can absolutely tell. Obviously, he says he got it out the mud. He's working so hard. This he doesn't take shortcuts. This man just seems like he works 24/7 on his game, on his skills, getting his money, getting his bag. And I just really love the attitude coming from Mach-Hommy.
You don't want to tussle. Your flow trash, plus you so ass. Staying away from these devils is self-care. Sneaker shopping in Bel Air.
I love that line. Staying away from these devils is self-care. I think that type of influence coming from any hip-hop artist is very positive. Just my opinion.
The closet got more loafers than welfare.
The closet got more loafers than welfare. That line actually just blew my mind. The closet got more loafers than welfare. Wow. All right, Lebeau, I really enjoyed this song. Definitely a song I actually enjoyed more than Stellar Ray Theory. So I don't know if it was the production or the flow, but I really liked the energy and the message in this song. So let's go to the last song I'm going to listen to for my first time listening to Mach-Hommy. No Blood, No Sweat. Let's get it.
Yeah, let's travel through the vortex when Vortex was a flex like a storm X when I'm getting that.
Rhyme scheme right now is crazy. Craziest rhyme scheme I've heard of his out of these 3 songs for sure.
Put this 38 in your mouth. Go ahead and spit your Magnum open. You think it's copacetic, straight cornballs with no aesthetic.
Dude's just straight spitting. This song's only like 1:50. Replayability is there, but it's pure raw hip hop. As I always say when it's just a song with one large verse, no hook, love it. All right, that was No Blood, No Sweat. Very, I guess, simple, in terms of production and scheme. It's one verse, and the production is pretty much the same throughout the whole song. But overall, I think Mach-Hommy kills it with his pen. I definitely think that's his strength, is his penmanship, lyricism. I really do enjoy the flow and the delivery. It definitely reminds me of Conway and Benny and Boldy James a little bit, but they definitely are unique in their own ways, and I can just see why this fan base loves these artists so much. They're so good at storytelling. Any of these artists could fit in the golden age of rap, the 90s, early 2000s. So they all got a great sound. Mach-Hommy has a fantastic sound. I can't wait to listen to his projects all the way through. So that's my reaction to Mach-Hommy, listening to him for the very first time, and I can see what all the hype is about. Are you a fan of Mach-Hommy? What do you like about him, and what are your favorite songs? I appreciate you all so much for coming by. If you're still here, like the video and subscribe to the channel if you love talking music, listening to music, and making music just as much as I do. You can follow me on Twitch, Twitter, and Instagram at EJSpark1, and as always, you know what it is. It's peace, love. I love s'mores. EJ, out.